The past few years, we've seen a steady influx of new SUVs across segments, but new sedan launches have been far and few in between, especially in the mass market segments. But as someone who likes them, I'm really happy to see more sedans coming our way this year, like the new Volkswagen Virtus. And fact is that every Volkswagen sedan that has been sold in India, be it the Vento, the Jetta, the Passat, or even the Phaeton for that matter, they've all been great driver's cars and excellent all-round packages. So the big question really is that the Virtus, which is the second product under Volkswagen's India 2.0 strategy, does it really continue that likable trend? Let's find out. One of the first things that you'll notice about the Virtus is that, like all Volkswagen sedans, this one looks sharp as well with clean lines. And interestingly, the front end here reminds me of the Jetta, which has always been a very smart looking sedan. The Virtus thus looks very sleek and has an air of elegance from the front, thanks to the design of the headlamps that also integrate the DRLs neatly, the grille design, and also the bumper design and integration of fog lamps into the bumper. The GT line is exclusive to the 1.5 TSI engine powered versions, and Volkswagen has cleverly distinguished the 1.5 TSI from the 1 litre TSI. The GT line also looks sportier thanks to differences like the blacked out detailing on the front bumper besides the GT badge. The alloy wheels also get a more distinctive looking gloss black finish, adding to the sportiness. Given its exterior dimensions, the Virtus is the largest car in its segment, and its size also helps in making for excellent road presence. Ground clearance stands at 179 mm, which should help the Virtus clear speed breakers, potholes and more with ease. But the higher clearance affects its visual appeal, making the sedan look a little too tall, especially from the rear due to the design of the rear bumper. I particularly like the tail lamp design though, as the tail lamps look very distinctive and very appealing. The GT line also gets a spoiler on the boot lid, which adds yet another dash of sportiness. Overall, the Virtus looks properly German, and in fact I already foresee a lot of buyers lowering the car to make it look even sportier. The interiors are familiar territory as they look very similar to what we have seen on the Taygun. The design is simple yet functional, and fit-finish levels are really good. I also like the fact that the infotainment screen is angled towards me slightly, hinting at the car's driver-centric approach. The screen looks bright and has a very crisp resolution and adds to the car's premium feel, besides feeling responsive to use. Volkswagen has also maintained visual distinction between the 1 litre TSI and 1.5 TSI powered versions inside. So the 1 litre TSI powered versions get blue accents on the dashboard and in the fully digital instrument cluster, while the GT line gets sporty looking red accents. Seats in the GT line are covered in black leather with red stitching, while the 1 litre TSI powered versions get beige colored seats. A flat bottom steering wheel adds to the sportiness, while the instrument cluster displays the same as the Taygun's. More importantly, the cabin feels spacious and very roomy given the car's dimensions, and I really like the sense of space around me while driving the car. The center console is well laid out too, and AC controls are the same as what we have seen on the Taygun, while switches for the seat ventilation are positioned next to the drive selector lever. The rear seat feels comfortable to sit in, while legroom and knee room are excellent, which should help the Virtus score brownie points with family car and chauffeur-driven buyers. Again, it's the fit-finish levels and choice of materials in the Virtus that impress, adding to its appeal as a properly German sedan. The instrument cluster display lets you choose from 3 different views, besides letting you customize the information you wish to see on the go. The infotainment screen also offers information like trip details, tire pressure alerts and other warnings and information as you would expect of a modern day sedan. That said, 360-degree view would have been a good addition to the features list. Powertrain options are the same as the Taygun, which means you can choose from either the 1 litre TSI or the 1.5 TSI, and both engines can be had with either the 6-speed manual or automatic transmissions. Of course, like the Taygun, the 1.5 TSI can be had with the 7-speed DSG exclusively, while the 1 litre TSI will be offered with the option of the 6-speed torque converter, which is also very impressive. The 1.5 TSI impresses with its performance levels, obviously, but the 1 litre TSI here is very impressive too when it comes to refinement in performance both, and acceleration is quite quick. Despite being a 3-cylinder engine, the 1 litre TSI feels very smooth and offers a highly refined feel as you build revs. Power delivery is also very linear with barely any turbo lag, and with this kind of performance, this engine does a really good job of masking its relatively lower displacement.
In fact, given its outputs of 115 PS and 178 Newton meters, the 1-litre TSI's performance is comparable to some of the other premium sedans powered by bigger engines. The torque converter automatic offers gear changes that are both smooth and quick, and in fact, the transmission is nearly as impressive as the 7-speed DSG overall.
The 1.5 TSI mated to the 7-speed DSG will be the pick of the lot, of course, as you have 150 horses at your disposal along with a slick shifting automatic gearbox with paddle shifters.
1.5 TSI feels as impressive in the Virtus as it did in the Taygun, offering brisk acceleration, and in fact, given its outputs of 150 PS and 250 Newton meters, the Volkswagen Virtus is the most powerful car in its segment, equaling its own cousin, of course, the Skoda Slavia, which also uses the same engine. The Virtus should thus have no trouble in posting the quickest 0 to 100 kmph times in the premium sedan segment, which would also help it find favor with enthusiasts looking for serious performance. The engine also gets the same active cylinder technology as the Taygun, which means 2 of the 4 cylinders are shut down when load on the engine is low, like when driving at a constant speed on a highway with a light foot. The 1.5 TSI also feels very refined at all times, though it tends to get slightly noisy at high revs, especially when you downshift aggressively using the paddle shifters.
The other good news is that the Virtus feels exactly like a Volkswagen should from behind the wheel. The steering feels connected, the suspension offers lots of confidence, and overall stability is very good.
Volkswagen's cars have always been a driver's delight, and the new Virtus is no different. It feels thoroughly engaging with its well-weighted steering wheel and also the suspension setup, which feels slightly firm, thereby making for excellent feel at all times. The suspension setup also helps in keeping the Virtus planted at triple-digit speeds and adds to its likable manners as a highway tool. We did not really get to experience the Virtus around corners, but given the responsiveness of the steering and the firm suspension, I am confident the sedan will also impress around fast corners as you would expect of a German car. Cabin quietness is also excellent as NVH levels are low, with barely any road, wind or tire noise creeping into the cabin. What's also impressive is the fact that despite the firmness of the suspension, the Virtus offers a very impressive ride quality. The suspension soaks up bumps and ruts well, and in fact, the ride only gets better at higher speeds.
So to sum it up, the Virtus does come across as an impressive new car and has all the right ingredients that make it feel like a proper German sedan. It looks good, feels solidly built, and of course is spacious and comfortable, besides which you have 2 impressive powertrains under the hood. And well, this one faces off against cars like the Hyundai Verna, the Maruti Suzuki Ciaz, the Honda City, and of course its own cousin, the Skoda Slavia. So pricing will be a crucial factor for the Virtus, and a starting price of about 10 lakh rupees ex-showroom for the 1-litre TSI should really give the Virtus an edge, because otherwise this is quite a wholesome package.